Yeah, Dr. Gaffin is so helpful in my life when I read his article on his chapter on the Sabbath in the OPC's 50th anniversary volume, Pressing Toward the Mark. And just to think about how the church in the present age is still, well, pressing toward the mark. we're likened. He compares, the author of Hebrews compares us, the church, to Israel. But if you remember the story of Israel, what stage are we at presently? It's really eye-opening to really take in and understand what this means, that the church is presently in its wilderness wanderings and has
That's right.
not yet entered into its final rest. Therefore, a Sabbath remains for the people of God.
Yes, which is, I think, the title of that essay by
Yeah,
Gaffin, which was very helpful to me in my work. Uh, yeah, he's the author of Hebrews quotes Psalm 95, which is pointing us. Psalm 95 is discussing, well, it's exhortation not to harden your heart. Today, if you hear my voice, do not harden your heart, as in the rebellion on the day of testing in the wilderness. And so he's saying we're similar to Israel in the wilderness. The New Covenant Church is similar in an analogous situation to Israel. We're in the wilderness. You know, just as the Lord through Moses delivered his people out of the bondage of Egypt, brought them into the wilderness, and then the land of Canaan, which is all throughout the Old Testament called the place of rest. There, Joshua 1, for example, and Deuteronomy, other places call it the land of rest, the rest that he was providing them in Canaan. That still stood ahead to the wilderness community, that first generation of Israelites. And so he's comparing us to them. Just as Christ has come, he has redeemed us from the bondage of sin and Satan. And we are now in the wilderness, and God's rest, namely the new heavens, new earth, the promised eternal inheritance, still
right.
lies ahead for us. That Sabbath rest, it still awaits the people of God. And so he compares us. And so what we find then are two words or two phrases used in Psalm 95 that dictate two whole eras in the new covenant church. And that is, those two words are today and my rest. God speaking with regard to his rest, my rest. And so today is our present wilderness experience, and God's rest still awaits us. It still lies ahead. And so what we find then is that the life setting for the community of the new covenant is in the wilderness phase of its redemptive life.